Welcome. We are now going to do Pilates for those suffering with Piriformis syndrome and sciatica. This can also be adapted for those that have poorly knees, ankles or lower back problem. However, the stretches are specifically for the back of the thigh muscles from the bottom through the IT band and all of the muscles that are connected from the pelvis to the knee. So if you're one of these that suffer with these areas, this will be a really good class for you. Hopefully I won't be freezing so much now. We found out why we have a problem with the internet, so you'll enjoy this class. The first thing I want you to do is ground your feet onto the floor and make sure that the toes are in line with the knees and the hips. And we're going to roll the shoulders back just to stretch and to get us in tune with your body. And then forwards for 2. So the first thing we're going to do is lengthen the leg forwards, curling into the toe and grab in with the hands, the top of the thigh, the other leg, keeping a gap between the knees. Stretching the back of the hamstring muscles from the bottom to the heel. We're going to go a little lower here. As you go down, allow the leg to stretch, stretch, stretch until the heel goes further down. Once there, roll up slowly by drawing the tummy muscles in to come back up to standing. Then repeat on the other leg. So flexing through the toes, so you're bringing the toes to the knee. Other knee is still bent and we're going to place the hands on the other leg now. So pulling down slowly, stretching the back of the leg, lengthening fully through those muscles in the back of the thigh. The hamstrings will pull from the knee to the bottom, but as you go lower, flatten the back. Feel the stretch through the back of the calves as well. Now you might feel a trembling on the legs, especially if you're suffering with Piriformis syndrome in the bottom. So the further down you go and the more secure this leg is that you're standing on, the better the support. So we're going to roll through again, drawing the tummy to the back, rolling through the back to come back to standing, and just roll the shoulders for 2. We're now going to work on that leg. We're going to work on balance first. So draw the foot to the floor, bring up the leg and flex the foot. While here, stretch the leg. Now you can take, and I'm going to turn around to show you this, the leg onto something you can balance onto. So I've got a radiator here and you're going to lean forward over the radiator to stretch that leg. So you could do this by balancing forwards in front as well. So either is fine, just make sure you're lengthening the back of the leg. Obviously, if balance is rubbish, use something you can balance that foot on. And then we're going to do the same with the other leg, so lengthening forwards. Those that do suffer with sciatica though, that stretch of the leg onto something you can lean onto, like we did with the chair on Wednesday, or yesterday, we're going to come all the way down. Do you see that stretch in the back of the leg? And then you're eventually going to get the nose to the knee, or try to. So you're fully stretching the muscles in the piriformis and also down the back of the leg. So we're going to pull down here again, lengthening forwards, but now swap legs. So you're going to hold on to the bent leg of the leg you've just stretched. Notice what happens to the other leg, this leg now stretching. As you come down to lengthen, you will target the piriformis muscle, the IT band down the side of the leg and all of the hamstrings, specifically though your bicep femoris. Now this is one of the hamstrings that runs with alignment from the sciatic notch, and it's usually that pain that travels from here down the middle of those hamstrings in that muscle that causes most of the pain. And then we're going to swap legs, so we're going to do the same again, bend in the front knee, extend in the back leg, and then you're going to go all the way again over the front of the bent leg. Can you see that? Stretching again the back leg. Now you'll feel it a little bit in the hip as you bend forwards because the quads are also supporting this stretch, but it's the back leg I'm more interested in. So the further the heel goes on that back leg, the better you will feel. So go a little further forwards when ready and you'll feel the back of the leg stretching. Well done. Now step with the legs together. A roll down will help with back problem as well as in the back muscles, the sciatica. Therefore will always be painful from the bottom to the knees. So the further you roll forwards into a roll down, the better the stretch from the lower back. And that's usually where most of the pain starts. So drawing a deep breath in, tuck in the chin and roll down slowly. Take your time, please don't rush. The arms are just hanging. As you roll down, you'll feel a stretch in the vertebrae coming all the way down to the toes. You're just going to hang there and tuck in the chin. Now, notice here the knees are soft, so I'm not straightening the knees, they're still bent slightly. This way you can feel that stretch through the sciatic notch and down the leg. So that nerve causing a lot of pain here fully stretches. And we're going to draw the tummy muscles in to roll back up. And it's usually at this point you can feel the lower back, especially if there's pain across the lumbar spine, and then into the bottom. So we're going to thrust forwards with the pelvis. This way, as you thrust forwards, the back muscles will stretch in the opposite direction. So vital for that stretch into the back. And we're going to do that again. So gently tuck in the chin, rolling down forwards, slowly pulling through your tummy muscles and hang again. So really good for back, fantastic for sciatica to stretch fully. We've got plenty more exercise where this comes from, so don't get bored yet. Roll up slowly to come up. Now as you roll up, pull in those tummy muscles again, thrust forwards, working into the back. Don't over push though, because you'll feel a burn here. Now from here, still stretching, we're now going to step forward like we did in the beginning. But now we're going to draw the leg further away. Allow the heel to come off the floor on the back leg. You're then going to bend the back knee. Now this stretches all of the muscles from the back down to the knee, but actually contracts through here. Now you may feel the sciatica's burning now, so we're going to pulse gently, then retract. So you just 2 pulses, then retract. So you're bending and straightening. The back leg, the front leg is staying still, is doing all the work. So pulsing and lengthening. Until here, as you pulse and flex through the heel, you will work through any sciatic pain or burning from the bottom to the heel. You may find that sciatica for you only can be felt from the bottom to the knee. That's okay, still working those muscles. And we're going to step in and do the same on the other leg. So a large step backwards here. And then when you're there, gently bring up the heel. Can you see it on the back leg? Bend, pulse, stretch and lengthen. Bend, pulse, stretch and lengthen. So these are easy exercises to do. Can do them on the back of a chair, so I will do exactly the same in my legs, just hold it on. So if balance is difficult for you, do grab something to hold on to. So bend and straighten. Now I know a lot of people are working, and there are quite a few people I know that come for treatment, usually because of piriformis syndrome sciatica. Please share if you know there is someone that suffers with this condition. For these exercises are brilliant for it, but it's always the same people that say, can I have some exercises for that condition? So here, perfect for that. We're going to do 2 more of those little tiny lunges. Notice my back has not moved, it's just the leg. And then we're going to open the legs. So we're going to go wide here. So you should feel a burning on the side of the legs if you are stretched out enough. So we're going to tilt the bottom right to left, stretching the IT band as you push away from the leg or as you extend the hip. So extending the hip stretches the IT band, ilioptical band, nice muscle that runs from the hip to the knee and stretches out the piriformis muscle. Now the piriformis sits in front of the sciatic notch. So if you're one of these people that have sciatica but the pain is here, it's usually a different diagnosis. It's not sciatica at all. It will be piriformis syndrome. If you find that the pain shoots down the leg, the back of the leg from the back, that is the sciatic notch sending the nerve pain called sciatica. So they are very, very different, but they are still in the bottom, so you get numbness here and down the leg. And most of the clients I have come to me have those 2 conditions and find it hard. Now, I'm going to come to the side so you can still see me. The next exercise, you need to thrust forwards. I want you to thrust towards me, to the back, so you work deep into the lumbar spine here, to the other side and then forwards. So you're going to do 6 of those. You need to remember, if your legs go numb down the side, so from the hip to the side, that is more likely to be from the Piriformis syndrome and the lower back than if the pain travels down the back to the knee. So we're still going to move around the body here, flexing each area. Now, as you go forwards, tilt further to stretch the sciatic notch. Yeah, so you're thrusting. I've done this many times in Pilates, but sometimes we don't realise it's actually for that condition. So we're going to go the other way, so we're going to go to the side. Now this might be uncomfortable going back there, but you're stretching through any discomfort in the back, ready to push forward to stretch the sciatic notch pain or the pain that travels through your bicep femoris. So continue to rotate and tone those muscles. And again, this can be done any time of the day, any day. So you can go back to this whenever you need to. Okay, coming out of here, the back will feel quite sore, and usually sciatica is caused from lumbar spine pain. So we're going to thrust forwards, and here I'm just pressing on my 2 bones in my L4 and 5, my vertebrae in the lumbar spine to stretch forwards. Now already you can feel the quad stretching, but as you tilt forwards, the stretching is also lengthening your back. So you're going to release that. This time clench the glute muscles together as you thrust. As you squeeze the glute muscles, it's then that you'll feel sciatica if you have it, and release. Now if you don't have it, these are still really good exercise to continue to work on pelvic floor muscles. This also in turn strengthens lower back and all the glute muscles, all 3 of them in each teeth, in the side or back of the bottom. So from here we're going to do not too much more standing, so 2 more thrusting forwards, and then we're going to come down onto your hands and knees. Now if you have a problem with the knees, do put padding like a pillow under the knees. So we're going to come down onto all 4s. Now we've done this in yoga. We didn't do it this morning, but we did do it yesterday. Fantastic for back pain. We have done this before in other videos, but specifically for sciatica, you will curl up. Because here from the head through the bottom to the leg, you're stretching through all of the glute muscles. Draw the tummy muscles towards that back and pull them in tight inside. If you think of wearing a belt and a kind of, as you squeeze in, you're about 2 to 3 notch on your belt, go further to a 10. So you're really pulling tight on the belt and then release everything. Now if you've got poorly wrists, make a fist or go down. So you can still do the same exercises down here. So again, squeeze in tightly, draw in those deep pelvic floor muscles into the back. Now if you're a man watching this, tilt forward so that the prostate also squeezes and then release. So you're going to do 4 more of those. Squeeze in tightly and release. Now notice all I'm doing is working the muscles in the lower part of the back. So pouring in and releasing, drawing in and releasing. Do 2 more. Now from here, tuck in the chin to arch your back. Now here comes the stretch. Take the poorly leg backwards and lengthen through the heel. Now this will really stretch from the lower back all the way to the heel. And as you pour gently all of the muscles, travel towards the heel and draw the muscles in the tummy towards the back again. Now here you're stretching fully through the leg muscles. Can you feel that? Now we're going to swap legs. So if you're on the other leg, don't worry, repeat both and push through. If you find that you actually were enjoying that stretch into the piriformis, then go back and readdress the leg that's sore. So you're just pulsing gently back on the leg. Now then, come off the hands, roll onto your back, make sure you're comfortable. Again, you can do this in bed or you can do this on a sofa. You will just need a ball or pillow. I'm going to place a pillow under my head. You don't have to. This is just to keep my neck or my, get my teeth, it's so warm, my cervical spine in line with my neck and my hips. So you form or find that you're in a neutral position. But because of piriformis, you will need a pillow or ball here under the coccyx, which will tip the pelvis up. I want you to do that to relieve the back muscles. And again, if you get numb bum, this is perfect for you. In that position, you will now draw the knee in and stretch the leg to the ceiling. Let me show you how we've got there. So bent leg in, straighten up. Now stay there and flex the toes. So the toes are traveling towards your head. Hands either side of the bottom. Now you're going to push those toes further towards the head. Now you will feel that stretch in the back of the leg. And we're looking for that because you're stretching your hamstrings and the calf. But to get into the sciatic notch, tip further towards the head. So do you see that? I just gently with my hands pull that leg further in. So it is a three-way progression, but very, very good for the sciatic notch and to lengthen the hamstrings. So if you have tight hamstrings, again, very good exercise to do. Now here, I'm just gently with my hand pushing to straighten the knee. Now if you've got a poorly knee, fantastic to lengthen knee muscles. The ligaments each side of the knee are fully lengthening. So you will feel the stretch on each side of the knee. So again, if you've recently had surgery or you're suffering with a knee pain, fantastic exercise. Now, repeat it on the other leg, this developmental stretch. Again, keeping the leg nice and line, curving through your toes. And then you're gently going to exaggerate that foot again towards the head, feeling the lengthening of the back of the leg. Notice the bent knee is not wobbling side to side. You must keep that still in order to controlling your mind on the straight leg. And again, with my hands, gently, a little bit more of a stretch. Now, remember what we did on the other knee? We're gently pulsing to push the knee. Now, don't lock it out, don't hurt it, but pulsing to push the knee away, flexing the heel further towards the ceiling or toes to the head. You will feel, again, the ligaments around the knee stretching. Now, I've had 2 knee surgeries, and this is one exercise that I do every day, so that I never get that pain in my knee back from scar tissue or also from the injury I had. Obviously, the injury is healed now, but to prevent it happening again. So this might be a good one for you. Back to piriformis syndrome. Now, staying in this position, you may want your hands underneath the ball. We're going to take that leg over the top. You see that? So we're stretching over the top of the bent knee. Now hold that position for 2 breaths. You will feel coming from the back through the leg to the foot. Hold that position so you can feel that pull for 2 more deep breaths. And then in that position, bring the toes closer to your head. So now we're fully stretching down the back of the leg. You may find that the leg is always numb across here in your ilioptical band. If that's the case, don't touch it because it will feel numb. Push further away again. So now the bent knee is rolling. Can you see that? I can hardly keep that still with the knee facing the ceiling, but that's okay because this is the muscles that we're working from lower back. And we're going to go all the way over now to fully stretch the leg into that full, again, developmental stretch. And we're going to repeat on the other leg. So remember how we started? We're just here, keeping that knee nice and still. I'm always going to hold that hip to stop it rolling to the side and then bring that leg over the top. So you got this? So you hold that stretch. Holding the stretch is helping statically stretching the muscles specifically from the lower back to the heel. Now we're going to go further over. I'm going to hold there for 2 more breaths. And then we're going to flex the heel, bring it further to the head. We're doing well. Feel that nice big stretch. And then further over. Again, try not to let that bent knee wobble side to side. Now we're going to increase that movement by adding both legs together. Again, flex feet and toes. Now, once your toes are flexed towards you or towards the head, you will already feel the hamstrings stretching, but this is where we stretch further into those muscles mentioned at the beginning. So we're going to split the legs. Can you see that? So now there's more emphasis on this leg coming towards the head than the other leg, but they're still stretched, yes? Now you can do this in 3 different ways. You can either opposite hand across to the calf and opposite thigh with the other hand and pull further, so you really feel the benefits of that stretch. Now the stretching of these muscles in the hamstring, specifically mentioned earlier, bicep femoris, is going to prevent sciatic notch burning, okay? And then we're going to take it over. Now see that stretch, look how hard that is. It's not only extending to the head, it's now coming away from the straight leg, but again working into the muscles where the burning sensation is felt from both conditions. Now we're going to do that on the other leg. So we're pushing away into a scissor hold there. So again, we normally do this in Pilates, but this one specifically for the areas mentioned. And we're going to bring that foot a little further towards the head. Real burn now. You should feel that in all the hamstrings. Watch the back of the knee. You might have to keep that soft if it hurts, yeah? And then earlier, like we said, opposite hand to the calf, and then we're going to bring it over. So now we're splitting, taking that foot towards you, across the other leg. So again, fantastic to take away the burning feeling in the bottom down the leg. Now we're nearly at the end of this, so we're going to bring the knees down and rock from side to side. Now this is to work specifically in the back. Most sciatica cases are caused by lower back pain first. Could be many different reasons this happens. A lot of the time the 5th and 4th vertebrae go into what we call spasm, or you slip a disc, or there's lots and lots of reasons why sciatica comes. If you were to do this every day before or last thing at bedtime, before your day in the morning, you would find that the sciatic notch will stop the burning over time. Piriformis syndrome normally needs intervention, but as it's locked down, it's very hard to get that intervention. Normally, I would get you to come and see me and I would be able to tweak it for you over 3 to 6 weeks. But we can't see each other, so we're going to go further over now. So I'm going to bring my hands down to support the twist. In yoga, this is called Apanasana twist. In Pilates, it's just called a back twist. It's exactly the same movement, exactly the same exercise, but we're not holding the position. You're working through the twist. Now you'll start to feel a back burn, and I need you to feel that, because when you feel the burn, you are targeting your lumbar spine or glute muscles. If you're finding it in your tummy, it just means your core muscle is a little weak, so that's okay. But we're now going to do the same thing with straight legs. So up to the ceiling and right to left. Now this will fire your transverse abdominis muscles across your tummy or underneath your rib cage. So as you go left to right, remember as you lengthen the leg muscles, it's the sciatic notch you're going to try and stretch. Well, actually specifically not the sciatic notch, but the bicep femoris. The sciatic notch is sending nerve pain down the leg. So we're not actually working the notch, we're working the muscles. So we're going to twist and twist. So really good for your core muscles as well. If done correctly, you're probably walking down your mat. Don't worry, that's normal. And now to finish, open both legs, specifically for the condition mentioned. Reach for the toes and lengthen. Now this is one perfect solution to pain. If you suffer with lower back pain, knees, hips, ankles, or any muscle pain in the legs, this one should be done every single day. It will target your glute muscles and hamstrings, back of the knee, calves, ankles, and your feet. Now draw the knees in, remove the ball, and bring the legs down. To finish, remove the block or pillow under the head. As we stretch and elongate the spine, even as we've done so many times, lift up onto a bridge. So as you go into shoulder bridge here, you may want to lengthen the arms, but it doesn't matter really what the arms are doing because it's here that I need you to lengthen. See if you can bring the heels further to the bottom and elongate the spine by thrusting the hips to the ceiling. Hands down by your side if you would rather. Those with sciatica may get cramp in the calf. That's just a reminder that that pain is still there. Stretch out the leg when it hurts, okay? And we're going to hold that position, but we're gently going to pulse. Now notice as I pulse, I'm squeezing the glute muscles, thrusting through the pelvis, and this is going to help with Piriformis syndrome as well. So you're using the glutes. If it's too painful, stop, straighten out the legs. Just do 4 more of those. Now bring the pelvis down, stretch out legs and arms to finish, and lengthen the whole of the body, including the vertebrae. And then you might just want to close your eyes for 2 breaths to recover. Now, one last thing I just want to add is I am here all the time on the end of a phone. If you want more advice on this condition, I've studied it for a long, long period of time and had it as well. So I do have the experience that goes with the pain. Have a lovely day. Just text me if you need some more information. And remember to share for those that are suffering. Take care. Have a lovely weekend. We'll see you on Monday. All the best now. Bye-bye.